How would you compare and contrast?
It's really hard for me to say. I don't know that I had noticed a big difference.
Don't non-Jews say have a nice day more often?
Say what?
Don't non-Jews say have a nice day more often?
Do they? That's a good question. I don't know. I can't say that I've noticed a difference. I've never dated anyone very religious of any faith. I think I'm drawn to people that tend to consider their religion in the same way I consider my religion, which is an intellectual, academic approach, I think.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for me to say that because I'm drawn to that type of person in any religion that I've noticed really much of a difference.
Have you dated any Muslims?
Maybe? No. I'm trying to think. In college.
None that were on jihad anyway.
Right, none that I know of. No, I guess I haven't.
So would your parents rather you dated a black Jew or a white non-Jew?
Oh, are you hitting a black Jew by... They would be totally fine with... the person could be red and yellow as long as they were Jewish, according to my mom. They, yeah, that's a big issue for them. They would probably give in on almost anything if the person was Jewish or willing to convert.
How old were you when you went on your first date?
16, 17.
Oh, that's normal. So you got like totally jaded.
Yeah, no. I actually, if you count, there was a brief encounter when I was younger, but his parents came. His mom took us to the movies, so I don't know if you can count that.
No.
The first time without any parents
when the parent
around.
comes, that's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
So do people your age date anymore? Is dating a term that's used? Because I heard that dating was going out of style.
Yeah, I'd like to bring it back.
Yeah.
I think maybe it is. You know, especially in college, I think it's not just going out of style, I think it's gone out of style. And I think that is sort of sad that people do, especially in college, really just hook up. I think when you're a little bit older, that changes. I wouldn't say it's completely dead. I feel like I date all the time. My friends date a lot. I do think that I do have, friends also that are just interested in hooking up. I was talking to one of my guy friends last night about it, and he was saying...
A guy who's interested in hooking up? Amazing! I didn't realize there were guys like that. I thought they just wanted relationships.
I know, shocking, right?
This is truly eye-opening. What a world out there that I didn't even know about. There are guys out there, maybe even watching this video right now, interested in just hooking up. Like,
but
where's the emotional component, gentlemen?
But not just that, guys I'm friends with.
Guys you're friends with. Can you believe that you're friends with guys like this who just want some
that I care very dearly for.
You care very dearly for.
Well, I guess I'm guilty of thinking everyone thinks like I do. So I think dating is still out there, so I tend to think most people I meet are interested in dating. You definitely come across people who are not and are just interested in hooking up. But I think one of the problems about being, in your mid to late 20s is that there's a huge difference right at this age in what women want and versus what men want. And when
men want more serious commitment.
Obviously. Well, but the thing is, the difference isn't that noticeable when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, what girl, when they're 21 at college, really, they may say,
I want to get married.
Right.
They don't. Be shunned by...
Yeah. So, or, either that or they're already pregnant with their second kid. But for the ones that aren't, yeah, they're really not that interested. And so neither are men, but that, that tends to work. And then, when you get into your mid-30s, especially, I think men are, clearly this isn't everyone, but you do notice a more critical mass of men saying, like, I'm ready to settle down. And it's right around this age where I feel like I mean, I never really noticed it that much. I never thought about it much either. And so recently, I'm in a place where my friends are starting to feel like shockingly ready for, you know, those next steps, or saying, I don't just want to waste my time with someone where there's no future with.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, none of my friends were talking like that. And I don't know that right at the age I am, men are saying the same thing. I think it's a few years away. So I think there's a bit of an imbalance.
But aren't women usually like 2 or 3 years at least more mature than guys, like even in 9th grade or 6th grade or 3rd grade?
I don't buy that. I know they say that, but what does that mean?
Well, they're less likely to urinate on you. Like little boys.
No,
they're less likely to, you know, be physically violent.
In 9th grade, we were, you know, more likely to make fun of a girl until she developed an eating disorder. Is that more mature? Just, you know. I mean, I think it's.
So you didn't think that girls were 2 or 3 years more mature than guys all the way through your life?
No, I don't. I felt right on par with men my age. I usually tend to date, I think, people who are around my age. And I was in a relationship for almost 4 years in my early 20s, like 3.5 years maybe. And I think at the time, I thought he wasn't as mature because I was ready for more. But when I look back on it, I really wasn't ready. And not being able to admit that to myself doesn't make me more mature. I probably was as immature as he was. I just was being told I was the more mature one. So, no, I really don't. I don't see it if it's true. Maybe you could illuminate it for me more.
How do you like to be asked out? And like, what are like the worst and best, you know, ways that you've been asked out?
The worst and best. I can think of a lot. The worst ones stick out in my mind. They usually involve just harassment to the point of me succumbing and giving in. I can think of one guy in particular who I went to law school with. I feel bad for him because I know what it's like to like someone when it's unrequited and it's not pleasant.
Yeah.
But oh my god, like I would just not give it a rest. It was like every time I saw him, he was like, so when are we going out? When are we getting coffee? When are we, you know, when I'm going to take you out one night and I'm going to blow your mind, you know? Or if I was reading some book, he's like, I'm going to find out when that author's in town and we're going to go out and it's going to be amazing. And
was it amazing?
Fine. I mean, only one time. I mean, this, like, after 2 years, I finally gave in and met the kid for drinks and felt like I had done my charity for the year. And was done with it. Of course, he wasn't done with it, and he thought that meant more harassment. Yeah. So that's definitely one of the worst. One of the best, I really like when men are very direct and very clear. Is that so shocking? It's pretty rare. So instead of, you know, a guy...
You want to hang out sometime?
Well, more just being like, I would really like to take you on a date. Can I have your number? Let's go out, you know, next Thursday. I really appreciate that. Most dating interactions initially are in this nebulous territory of, you know, first you talk to someone, you regret you didn't get their number, they contact your friend, or they Facebook friend request you and ask if what you're up to for the next few days.
Yeah.
So all that pussyfooting around where they're trying to figure out if they should ask you or not, it's just tedious to me.
So you don't really care for that number thing that women...
I knew we were going to get into this.
That women receive more social stigma for sleeping around with guys do. Kind of annoys you. Right?
I think it's unfair. And I don't think